So in today's episode of Domestic Dad, we are going to make Snickers cookies. Okay, it's going to take basically the same peanut butter recipe that we used earlier. It's going to be super, super soft, just like our peanut butter cookies. But we're going to add that Snickers deliciousness and caramel flavor into our peanut butter cookies. And that way it gives that extra oomph of Snickers and flavor, especially gives a little chocolate, a little complexity. So it's not just that boring peanut butter flavor. Again, we're gonna make those Snickers today, Snickers cookies today, and give it a nice big punch that can be used at any outdoor parties, anything that you want to bring as a dessert for those potlucks or those 4th of July parties that are coming up. Alright, so we are going to start measuring out all of our ingredients right into our bowl right here. Again, like I said, we are going to try to measure and use our scale, but these numbers will be in the description so that you can see how much you need. But we are going to need 256 grams of peanut butter. So as we're going to start to pour that out into our mixture, we are going to make sure that it's in the right units. But again, 256 grams of peanut butter as we pour it on in. And there we are. We got 256. Then next, we are going to need 16 ounces of butter. We love to use Carrot Gold here in the Domestic Dad household. So we're going to take that softened butter, go ahead and put it all right into the container of our mixture of peanut butter. And then next, we are going to need 100 grams of brown sugar. Okay, again, we really want to make sure it's that dark brown sugar that we have here today to make sure that it gives it that richness that it needs. So again, we are going to take our brown sugar. We are going to weigh out 100 grams right here. Getting closer, getting closer. All right, there's our 100 grams of brown sugar. Then next, we are going to take our vanilla. Again, same vanilla we used during our coffee creamer. It's going to be about 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So we're going to add that right into our mixture. And then we are going to add our teaspoon of our baking powder and also our baking soda. Okay, so we're going to measure this out. 1, 2, that is going to be 1 tablespoon. And then we are going to go over to our baking soda. 1, 2, perfect. And then we are going to be adding about 304 grams of our all-purpose flour. Any flour will do. All-purpose flour, it's going to be phenomenal. Again, we're going to add 304 grams of flour into our mixture. And what's great about these peanut butter cookies, you really can just dump and go, just making sure everything's measured out phenomenally. Again, we're getting that 280, 300, perfect. And then next, we're going to take 2 eggs that have been sitting out for about 30 minutes outside of the fridge, and we're going to crack them into the bowl, but we're going to do them one at a time once this gets going and gets started here. So we're going to go ahead and insert that onto our stand mixer, just like so. Just like so. And we have our mixer right here. If you don't have a stand mixer, that is okay. This can be done all in a bowl with a hand mixer, or even using our hands. It's going to be a little more elbow grease, a little more work. But again, we're going to start setting this on low. Make sure we prop that up into our stand. and start to incorporate all of the ingredients before we add our eggs. Okay, so we're going to get this going. We're going to be anywhere between 3 and 4 to get it moving, getting all the butter mixing, and getting our consistency that we need. Alright, so as we are mixing this, we are going to start to have everything form and congeal together. I like to take a spatula and start to push everything in there just to make sure it gets incorporated in our stand mixer. Be very, very careful. It could hurt. You could accidentally break this wood. I've done that a couple of times, but again, just make sure that it's starting to mix all the way through, okay? And may get stuck on the blade every little bit. So again, just move it around. Make sure that it's unstuck. And then we're going to start adding our eggs here. We're going to crack one. Just like so. Drop that in. As this mix, again, we're going to stop it real quick, just to move off of the blade so that we can see it can be mixed well. Okay, I'm going to scrape it a little bit, scrape it off the sides, all around, just like so. And then we're going to keep mixing that as we go. And then we're going to go ahead and add our second egg into the bowl. Get that incorporated. Alright, so we've had our Snickers in the freezer for about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and give that a rock chop. The reason why we want to have the Snickers in the freezer, again, that caramel is going to ooze out if it's at room temperature. So freezing it is going to make sure that it stays nice and hard as we get through the baking process, and that it can be incorporated really, really well into our peanut butter Snicker cookies. Again, this is going to be a peanut butter based with that added goodness of peanut butter and then Snickers. And then we're going to add some Snickers on top of those peanut butter cookies so that they really get a good mixture, and then you can really tell that there's Snickers inside of the cookie. Again, we're going to mix we're going to go ahead and mix our Snickers into our peanut butter cookies, okay? And that way we're going to have that nice and delicious ready to go. Again, we're going to take our spatula and try to get it off of the blade so that everything gets incorporated really, really well for our delicious cookies. Okay, it's been about 3 to 5 minutes, and we're going ahead and going to pull that off of the blade and then get our ovens preheated to 350, and then we're going to start making some cookies and having them for a great dessert for an after dinner treat. All right, now we are back. We're going to take our cookie dough batter with those awesome Snicker pieces. Okay, we're going to roll this into a dough just like so. Okay, we're going to do a nice big ball because I like those big cookies. Okay, and then we have our Snickers. We're going to place them down here on the middle of our cookie. That way we get pieces of Snickers all throughout our bite. We're going to make another one. Again, there's 2 of us. Don't really want the little one to get some cookies. So again, we're going to try to make sure that the little one does not get any of these delicious cookies. Okay, with these awesome Snickers tasting. So we're going to place that there. We're going to place the rest of our Snickers on top. Just like so. All right, and then we're gonna place these into our oven at 350 degrees. If you got parchment paper, you should definitely put that down. But again, these are going at 350 for about 12 to 14 minutes, making sure the edge of those cookies are nice and golden brown and crispy. So we're gonna place those in our oven, and we're gonna have some delicious Snickers cookies here in about. All right, it's been 14 minutes. We're gonna pull out our Snickers cookies and see how great they look. Wow, look how good they are. Look at that, it's peanut butter. Oh, so it'll be so good. So we're gonna give us a little bang. They're gonna start to fall down ever so slightly. And then we're gonna let them cool for about 30 minutes. And that way we can try them and have them towards the end of dinner tonight. Oh, cannot wait. Look forward to eating them.